Hi. Hello, hello, hello. When you jump on, say hi so I know you're here. Hey, girl, hey. Oh, hi, Taylor. Ooh, I get to be graced with Taylor's presence today. Hi. Hey, Robert. Nice to join you again. Exciting. So I'm just going to give it a few minutes. I tagged some peeps in the video just in case, and I think I shared it in the group, but I don't think I shared it on Burgundy Wishes. So I don't know if one of you guys want to share it on there. Excuse me. Cool. Thanks, Brooke. Okay. So happy Wednesday. It was a crazy Wednesday. Crazy Wednesday today. But thank you so much for joining me. And I'm super happy that you're here. And I'm super excited to talk about rituals and ceremonies and just meditations and all kinds of good stuff. And I really had to limit myself because I'm like, oh, tell them this and oh, tell them that. And for those of you that have worked with me before know that my primary guide is Agatha Christie. And she was like, no, limited, don't give them all the good stuff just yet, just give them a taste. And I was like, oh, can I just tell them more? But we have tons of information. It's going to be really awesome. So I'm just going to dive in it. So when you jump on, say hi. Make sure that we get you and know that you're here. So yesterday we talked about the moon's energy and different ways that we can harness it and bring it into our lives, and some of the different kind of characteristics really that we use, especially during certain cycles of the moon, right? And so thinking back and kind of reflecting, right, because that's one of the characteristics that we're going to use, it's just when we think, okay, the full moon and the new moon, super powerful moons. You know, the full moon we're releasing, and the new moon we're creating this new slate. So in essence, when you think about rituals or when you think about ceremonies, you're naturally going to think about the full moon or the new moon, because the full moon is one of the most powerful energies that we have. And so second to that would be the new moon. So a lot of the rituals stem around that, and a lot of the things that you would find on the internet are going to be around those too. But again, remember, talking about yesterday, we have those other two moons, and without gratitude and without self-care and self-love, it's not going to go anywhere. You can ask and ask and ask all you want, and you can manifest, 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 and you can release and release and release, but without showing yourself love and without taking that leap of faith and repaying yourself and showing your worth, nothing is going to come to fruition. So remembering those two phases that are in between the full moon and the new moon are going to be super, super important, okay? So when I'm talking about these, while there's not necessarily rituals or meditations that go with it, there are going to be ones that we would cover definitely in the workshop, but maybe not rituals as you would see other places on the internet. Okay, so first, when we talk about anything, rituals, when we talk about ceremonies, especially those two, anytime you are going to do that, it is super, super, super important that you cleanse. We're going to cleanse the area, we're going to cleanse ourselves, cleanse our mind, because you don't want to go into this with any kind of distractions, with any kind of low vibrations or negative energies. So we always recommend cleansing prior. Of course, cleansing with an herb, whether it's with sage, whether it's with Palo Santo, whether it's with any of the other herbs. We have done talks with Tabatha on different herbs and herb combinations. So make sure that if you have any questions about that, you jump on that video and watch it, tag me. But cleansing with some kind of smudging, going through the area, making sure it's clear of any kind of clutter or debris, making sure you're not going to have any distractions in the way of pets, family members, boyfriend, girlfriend, telephones. So clearing all of that away, okay, smudging and cleansing that area. And then we're going to cleanse ourselves. So you can, in essence, smudge yourself, but another way that we like to do that is with a salt bath. And so putting the herbs and the Epsom salts or the Himalayan salts into the bathtub, posting 4 white candles in the corners, calling in the directions. If your bathtub doesn't exactly face those directions, remember it's the intention behind it, right? And then we're just going to soak and allow that to soak into our body, the sage and the salt and whatever other herbs you're going to put in there. Remember, rosemary's my favorite, but putting that in there, okay? And then once that is all done, then we're ready to step into whether it's a ritual or a ceremony. We've now created that sacred space. We've created that sacred kind of mindset that we're going to step into, free from any distractions, and just freed our minds, right? So, hey, Rena. Oh, my gosh. Hey, Miss Regina. Oh, Lord. We got Miss Regina and Rena on. Oh, it's about to turn up. Okay. So, we've cleansed. Let's first kind of talk about some rituals. I think because if you were searching on the internet, those would probably be the most that you would come across, right? Whether you search full moon rituals or new moon rituals, there's tons and tons and tons on the internet. It doesn't have to be pagan. It doesn't have to be Wiccan. These are things that you create. So I'm going to give you one. Now, the most of the time when people come to me for new moon or kind of creating new slates, right? Starting anew. But most of the time they want a new relationship, right? They want to manifest this partner or new romantic kind of vibe into their life. So a lot of times around the new moon, that's particularly what I see. So I thought, let's talk about that for the new moon ceremony. So what you would need for the ceremony is 3 red candles, a red envelope, a piece of paper, either like a pot that you would put like a plant, some soil. We want to make sure that it's soil from the earth mixed with some potting soil to give it some nutrients, and then a packet of seeds. So remember, sorry, I've had a long day. I need some water. Okay. So remember, prior to doing this ritual, if we were looking to bring new love, new romance, even kind of maybe a new business partner. It doesn't necessarily have to be a romantic partner, but for the sake of this one, that's what we're going to talk about. Remember, we're going to cleanse. We're going to cleanse the area that we're going to be doing this in. We're going to cleanse ourselves to prepare for what we are about to do. And then we're going to put everything in our space. So the first thing I want you to do, obviously you've kind of cleansed out any distractions, but a lot of people like that soft and flowy music. So if that is not a distraction to you, I do recommend, I love working with binaural beats, or I cannot even think of the word. It starts with an S. I'll think of it probably on the next one, and I'll be like, oh yeah. But I love working with those. If they work for you, or if you enjoy, I love the cello. So if you enjoy things like that, please invite that in as well, because it's definitely going to help set the mood for this particular ritual. Okay, so we're going to set the space. I want you to light the 3 red candles. Does anybody know why there needs to be 3 candles? Suffragia, thank you. I owe you big time. I owe you big time. But does anybody know why we use the number 3? So why it's important to have 3 red candles? I'm going to keep talking to see if anybody gets it while we're here. So we're going to do 3 red candles. I want you to light those candles. And then we're going to take the pot that we had, and we're going to put some dirt in it. Oh my goodness, I also forgot to mention we need a rose quartz. I don't know how I forgot to mention that, but you will need a rose quartz as well. So we are going to take the dirt, put it in the pot. We are going to take our packet of seeds, plant that in there along with the rose quartz, and then put the remaining dirt on there. And so after that, I want you to take your piece of paper, and on that piece of paper, I want you to write all of the qualities, all of the attributes, all of the characteristics that you are looking for in this partner or romantic love. You need to be specific, okay? You need to write about the way that this individual is going to make you feel. You're going to need to write about what values they have. Do they like animals? Be very specific in the things you write down. It doesn't have to flow. It can be bullet points, but you need to be very specific, okay? On the back side of that paper, because it's not about what they have, it's also about what we bring to the table, because a relationship or a partnership is 2 ways, right? So on the back of the paper, we're going to write all the things that we are going to grace that person with, right? So we're also going to be specific. So I will grace you with, oh my gosh, I can't even think today. So I will bring into the relationship a fun-loving attitude. I will bring into the relationship my love for animals, things like that that you want to share, that you want to bring into the relationship. Again, be super specific, because this is what we're going to send off to the universe and say, this is what we want. This is what we are looking for. So once you've done that, you have a red envelope. I want you to fold it up, put it in the red envelope, and seal it, okay? So now that red envelope is going to go under your pillow. You're going to sleep on it. Your plant is going to be another area. Every time you walk to water that plant, or every time you walk past your pillow, lay your head on that pillow, you are going to vocalize, because communication is very important, those qualities that you're looking for and the qualities that you would bring into the relationship every time you do this. So while the main part of the ritual is in essence a new moon, right? Because we're creating something new, we're looking for something new. the other part, that nurturing, that waxing part, because it's growing, is part of that waxing moon ritual. Every time we go to water the plant, we reinforce that. Every time we go to sleep, we reinforce that. The best part, when that plant gets big enough to where we can transfer it outside, we are going to take that envelope, we are going to burn it, we're going to take the ashes, put it in the ground, put the plant on top of it, and recover it. And it's going to be such a beautiful thing, because when you look at that plant, you're going to understand that everything you're wanting is growing, and it's coming from the earth, and its fruition is coming to, and you can see it grow, and it's going to be so beautiful. And I don't see, let's see, oh, you can't see anybody's comments? Can everybody else see everyone's comments? Because I didn't see anything, anybody pop up about the number 3. So the number 3. Number 3 is very important in rituals, because oftentimes, no matter the religion, things are done in sequences of 3s. Also, 3 is said to be the first true number. It forms a triangle, which we know in sacred geometry is very important. And it's said to be the number of harmony, right? So you're looking at past, present, future. You're looking at beginning, middle, end. This is probably in most religions that you would look at the number 3. 333 is the number of the ascended masters. So very important number. So no one gets the bonus points for today, but that's okay. All right. So we talked about kind of continuing this process that we started during the new moon. So why red candles and the red envelopes? So oftentimes red, you can see it as anger, but you can also see it as passion. So in this instance, we're calling that passion element, right? We're calling in that love element, because specifically, this is what we are trying to manifest. We are trying to manifest a love or a passion, a partner. And so we use the color red. For some, they would keep with the rose quartz, so they would do pink. To me, we see pink as more of a friendship kind of love. So I guess it would really depend on what kind of relationship you're trying to manifest. Is it a business partner? Is it truly a partner in life? So I guess, the red, when we speak of, and what I kind of help my clients with, would be on a relationship basis. So I think that's why oftentimes I will recommend red. But if we're doing money, we would reference green. And so there are different candles and different items and colors that you would bring in to these kind of rituals, pending what you're looking for specifically. And so Taylor said triangle is the strongest shape. Absolutely it is. Absolutely it is. So when you plant the plant in the ground, do you leave the rose quartz in it? Yes, absolutely. So the rose quartz is going to stay with that, because it's helping to not only pull that energy from Gaia, but it's amplifying the unconditional love. It's amplifying the self-love. It's amplifying all those love qualities that rose quartz is known to possess. And since this is a love or relationship, passion kind of manifestation, that's why we're going to leave that rose quartz in there. Now, if you have a piece of rose quartz that's too big to put in the pot, then you can set it next to the pot while it's kind of growing. And then once you get it outside, then place the rose quartz in the ground and put the plant on top of it. But ultimately, we need that rose quartz to be in the ground with the plant. Okay. Yes, red is definitely a power color as well. So if you've ever kind of looked at auras or done an aura photography, when you are working, red will show us kind of this outgoing, this passion, this power, because you're working, you're in a business mentality, right? Whereas maybe if you were not working, your aura color would be different. So red is definitely what we would know as a power color as well. So does it matter the size of the rose quartz? Could get expensive every month. Well, we're not doing this every month. So remember, this is a new moon ritual. And then we are going to continue to nurture, right? So at the new moon is when we would host this ritual or ceremony, in essence, of where we're lighting the candles, writing what we want in a partner, writing what we as a partner to that individual would bring, and then throughout the rest of the moon cycle, we are going to continue to nurture. Now, if in that full moon cycle, it doesn't come to fruition, then we revisit, right? Then that's where we need to relook at some things. Or if you're listening to your guides and you're meditating and they say, it's just not the right time, then we continue to nurture. We continue to be grateful for what we have. We continue to express what we want in that partner and vocalize how we would benefit that other person, and the universe will provide. Okay. So I think, so many times this part about giving thanks and having this gratitude mentality is so missed, and that's why a lot of people give up, right? It doesn't work. Well, you can't just ask. You have to be grateful for what you have already. Because I'll tell you that anytime I have stepped out and given it to the universe and invested in myself as putting that power in me, meaning that I followed through with being grateful, and I followed through with truly learning how to love myself and be with myself, I've been repaid. And so part of this process is learning how to love yourself. I know you've heard that you have to love yourself before you can love anyone else, right? And that is so true, because part of this is, right, you remember I had you write on the back what you bring to it. So many people would just write what they want in a partner. But this is about what you also bring to that partner, because now you understand yourself. Now you know who you truly are and what you bring to the table. Being grateful for who you are, so that then, in essence, you can have this person come into your life and you can be great together, right? So understanding and learning that part, investing in yourself, investing in learning about who you are is super, super important, so that when you continue through these rituals, whether it's just in a new moon or a full moon, you have to understand that continuing the process is where this importance is going to come to fruition. So when we think about that, let's think about it on the opposite end, right? Let's think about a broken heart. So a full moon would be the perfect time for this. And it doesn't have to be a broken heart as someone broke up with me. It can be a broken heart as a loss of a loved one, a loss of a pet. For the full moon, when we talk about releasing, we are talking about any kind of loss, any kind of heartache, any kind of emotional pull that we would want to release. So again, we're going to cleanse, right? Cleanse the space, cleanse ourselves. But what we would need, particularly for this kind of loss or releasing ceremony, thank you, we need a picture of the person, a picture of the animal, a picture of the being that is tugging at our heartstrings, that has that emotional hold over us. A fireproof plate or a fireproof dish is going to be very beneficial. And of course, matches. So for this ritual, because we are really trying to release, it's going to be super, super important that, again, we're cleansed. We are in the right mind frame because we're going to get ready to cut some cords. We're going to get ready to take this individual or take this being and remove them so that they no longer can have that pull or that emotional attachment to us, so we don't feel that every day, okay? So after we've cleansed, we're going to sit with that picture of that individual, that picture of that pet or whoever it may be, and I want you to start to light the bottom corner of it. And you're just going to watch it burn. And as you watch it burn, and it starts to get hot in your hand, you would put that on the table. Every emotion you feel as you watch that burn, you let come out. So if this is something that you are not comfortable doing in a group, you need to make sure that your sacred space is set where you are alone, because we need you to purge those emotions. We need you to cry. We need you to be mad. We need you to yell. We need you to do what you feel you need to do. If you need to laugh, laugh, because those emotions need to be purged. They need to be let go. Once that picture is completely burned, those ashes are there, and you have purged your emotions. If that picture is done burning and you aren't done purging, and we just sit and we purge and we go through that. We envision pulling these cords out from our heart space. We envision removing that person, almost picking them up from the top of the head and gently placing them outside of our auratic field. We don't kick them, we don't push them, we gently place them because we want to send them with light and love, especially if they're in one that has broken our heart before, right? So we gently place them. We need to remove and filter so that we're clear, because this is a cleansing ceremony, a cleansing ritual, right? So once we've done that, once we feel we are completely purged, that picture is burned, again, we are going to bury it in the ground. Why? Because now we need to show that something that was lost, something that was hurt, something that was pain or anger, can again grow into something beautiful. We don't plant seeds. We let Gaia take that energy of that pain, that hurt, that fear, that whatever it was emotionally that that person or that being had on you, let them turn that energy into something beautiful, which is why we bury it and give it to Gaia. Then on the waning moon, right, because we still need to make sure that those emotions don't stay, is where we work with our affirmations, we work with our self-talk, we work with that positivity, that gratitude mindset to ensure that those release, that release that we did, that purge of emotions, is reinforced. And it's okay if emotions still come up. There are things that I have purged from my past that are so traumatic that they come up. There are still triggers for me that would cause an emotional trigger, if you will, to come up. So it's important that I readdress that. And I readdress that through the positive affirmations, through the gratitude mindset that I've worked on through my waning moon. These are things that we are going to learn and reinforce and grow and do together in this 28-day workshop. This workshop is so, so, so important to learn how to continue what we've done in the powerful new moon and the powerful full moon, and grow it and continue to nurture and put it in there so that it can come to fruition. Okay? When we bury that in the ground, it is so important to seal it with some kind of statement. In the workshop, the ritual that we are going to do is going to be very in-depth. It's going to really, really work on different angles of purging, different angles of cutting cords and releasing, and how you can do this, because everybody has this ability to do it within themselves. So how you will be able to do that for yourself, right? But when we bury that in the ground, I want you to say something like, I release what no longer serves me, and I am open to the universe's higher good. Okay? That vocalization. Why? Because yesterday we learned communication is super important. Opening that throat chakra, expressing what's inside is going to be super, super important. And I know I saw some questions, so before I jump into anything else, I'm going to go back up here and see. So Brooke says, is there a different stone that you recommend for business partners or friendship in the same ritual? Business, I'm hearing carnelian, right? Because we want to manifest money. Business, we want to be profitable. We want to be abundant. So I'm thinking carnelian for this. For friendship, I think we're looking at the aspects of friendship. And what Agatha is saying here is, let's focus on the characteristics of that particular friendship or that partnership. If carnelian is not one for you, which we're still leaning, okay, we're leaning towards the carnelian, let's go to the friendship. We're going to look at the aspects of that friendship that you're trying to manifest. Is it someone, are you looking for the qualities in that friend that has a cool, calm sense to them? Are you looking for a friend that is adventurous? Are you looking for in a friendship to offer this kind of protection? Because those stones will be different. So we say to you, when you write your attributes or when you are thinking about this, think about the attributes that you want to look for in a person, because in that you will find your stone. Okay? Is there a different word than purge? Purge usually entails getting rid of good stuff too. I think when we speak of purge, I think we speak of only releasing God. And when we are looking at specifically the loss of a loved one, or specifically the loss of a loved one, the loss of a pet, the loss of a friend, the loss of someone that was beauty in our life, do we want to purge those good emotions? Absolutely not. So when we talk about this purge, in a sense, we talk about strewing up emotions. So if it's laughter, laugh. Because oftentimes that person is with you and you need this emotional release. So if you feel like, this is a better word, Agatha says, emotional release. So using this release instead of purge may work better for you. But it's really conjuring up all of that, remembering. This is why when I work with clients who are getting ready to pass, or clients that have pets that they need to cross over to the other side, rituals like this are very important, because it helps cut these cords. It helps to release before that person passes, or before that pet passes, so that in essence those cords and those feelings wouldn't be there. However, if it is there from that, then we want to feel those emotions. We want to remember and enjoy, because we're not releasing them forever, especially in the mention of a loved one or a passing of something that was beautiful to us. what we're doing is releasing that hurt in our heart space so that we can open it to remember only good times, and training our mind to be in a gratitude mindset, to be in a self-care, positive affirmation mindset, so that when we think about that person, we no longer think tears of joy or hurt for that loss. We think of how wonderful it was to have that person there during this time, or how wonderful it was to have that pet as protection and unconditional love for that amount of time. So there is definitely a difference when you look at the release of the two. But, and again, when we get into this workshop, we really get in and we get to work kind of this one-on-one role of what's going to be best for you. What is it, the release of a loved one, the release of a pet, or is it truly like the release of someone really messed with me, someone broke my heart, and that's a different kind of release. So I think if purge doesn't work for you, release definitely will. She's giving me the head nod, so I'm thinking that that word would work for you. Well, hello, Miss Lynn. And let's see, Tracy. Hey, Tracy. Okay, so I think we've covered all of those questions. So, okay. So we talked about rituals, we talked about ceremonies. What are some other ways that we can honor the moon? And I'm gonna, I wouldn't say go fast, but we were told to keep it 30 minutes, and I've already gone 7 minutes. So if rituals aren't your thing, if ceremonies aren't your thing, perhaps meditation is your thing, right? So there are so many free meditation tools out there. Insight Timer is phenomenal for any kind of meditation, guided meditation, music, talks from teachers and gurus. So Insight Timer is phenomenal. It's free. You can put it on your phone. YouTube, of course, has free meditations, guided or music, if you are able to do that for yourself. But yoga. So I was actually doing some research and thought, well, maybe there's some like moonlight kind of yoga. Well, they actually have moon poses in yoga, and I was like, this is crazy perfect, right? They have the reclining moon, and I'm actually gonna, I have a note, hold on. They have a reclining moon pose. I'm not a yoga person, so I had to take notes. A standing moon pose, a full moon circle pose. I'd like to see that one. So if anyone can do that, please post that picture of you in the comments. And then a balancing half moon pose. So incorporating this, especially if you're a yoga instructor, this would be a phenomenal workshop or opportunity for you to host with your yoga practice and get out there into the moonlight, right? Moon bathing, going for walks in the moonlight, especially in the full moonlight. Oh my gosh, the power that you get from that, and putting your feet in the earth, and so powerful. Poems, if you're a writer, journaling. These are all different ways that we can still pull in that power from the full moon, the waxing, the waning, and the new moon. So don't think that it has to be a ceremony or it has to be a ritual, because there are other ways that we can bring this in, other ways that you will definitely learn in the workshop. So let's talk about that, right? Because we talked about self-care, and to some people, $147 is a lot of money, right? But I would challenge you. Not only do we offer payment plans, but anytime you step out on this leap of faith in self-care, and when we talk about self-care, it's not always days at the spa, right? When you are saying, I'm going to invest in learning. I'm going to invest, whether it's with me or with anybody else, a coach, it doesn't matter. You are saying not only to yourself, but the universe, that I value the potential and the knowledge that I possess. And it's important enough to me that I'm going to grow my energy. Because remember, where focus goes, energy flows, right? So if we're putting all this focus on ourselves and growing and learning, then it's going to happen. So step out, take that leap of faith. Self-care is important. So in this workshop, for $147, which breaks down to about $5 a day, we're going to have the personalized kind of guidance and insight from me on what your goals should be each week with each new moon cycle that we're looking at. We're going to learn a lot of rituals, meditations, journaling, because I am going to give you a journal that I've created specifically for this workshop that you are able to download. You're going to get an essential oil that's been infused with moonstone that we have intuitively blended to help bring out those positive affirmations, to help bring out those that gratitude mindset that's going to be super, super important. In addition, you'll have access to that group for 60 days. So if the first time around, when we do these exercises and these rituals, I don't want to just leave you and say, okay, you're done. That second month, we're still there. We're still there to help you and watch you do them on your own, watch you grow and do them. So for $147, you are getting a smoking deal, okay? So think about that. If you have individuals or friends that you know would be interested in something like that, for sure, let them know. I've actually pinned the link at the top for that 28-day. It does start on, oh my gosh, what day does it start on? 3 September. Starts on 3 September. We are going to start with the new moon, so definitely. If you have any questions, let me know. Let's see. Tracy, I didn't know you were a yoga girl. We could probably definitely hook something up, and you can totally run with that moon yoga. It'd be perfect. So tomorrow, exciting day, because we are going to kind of start out with a quick recap. We're going to go over any questions that you guys might have, whether it's from kind of those qualities and characteristics that we look to bring in from the moon's energy, or going over any rituals, ceremonies, or any other type of yoga, journaling, anything like that we talked about. And then I'm going to channel for you guys. So if you have specific questions about business or love, because we're working with moon energy, we would like this to be around some kind of life event or life change, right? When we work with moon energy, whether it's a release, whether it's bringing something in, it's going to be a change. So we would like these questions and things for tomorrow to be around something involving a change that's going to happen, a change that you're pondering around that. Okay, so super exciting day tomorrow. I can't wait. If you guys have any questions, or if you're catching the replay, make sure that you hashtag replay and tag us in the video so we can make sure to answer. Other than that, thank you so much for joining me tonight. I super enjoyed having all of the new people on here and seeing some of the old faces. It's always great to have everybody input what they do, and you know, we learn from everybody. And so thank you for joining me, and I'm looking forward to seeing everybody tomorrow. Have a blessed night. Okay, Get out there and enjoy that moon. Bye.